Hey everyone, my name is Lightning. Welcome to Lightning's podcast. With KOF 15 coming out soon, I thought it would be a good idea to interview players around the world to bring the hype for the game. With this out of the way, thanks for checking this out, and please, enjoy the show. Hey guys, how you doing? This is Lightning. If you like what you're seeing, check out my channel for previous episodes and subscribe for future content. Violent Kain and Rosa, welcome to the third episode of this podcast. How are you guys doing?
Thank you very much. I'm doing fine. Just play a tournament and I'm feeling great.
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Right here, just excited about all the news about KOF 15 and just waiting to see what else they have to offer to us.
Nice. Violent Kain, what tournament was it, and did you win?
It wasn't an online tournament. The tournament is called Yuri and Friends Fighting Club. I don't remember the last words of the tournament, but yeah, I did pretty good. I've been playing with the Hitbox and I won.
Nice.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Thanks.
I'll just get right to it because I think TGS just ended. I think right now. Today's the third day or something. Third and last day for KOF. So with the trailer from Gamescom and Tokyo Game Show, what are you guys mostly excited about?
I liked it a lot. The system looks really good. I like that you can do EX moves outside of max mode. That's like really necessary. Because in 14, there are a lot of characters who abuse of the system. For example, Mature, Kain, Hydern, who like they just raw max and get back and like spam EX all day. So that is removed in KOF 15, and I'm also worried about the Shatter Strike in mechanic because I saw some people that said on Twitter that it's strange that you do a Shatter Strike and you end with more bar than from what you started. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think I will agree with Violent Kain in terms that I'm not really sure how to feel about Shatter Strike giving back half a bar, because I saw one combo that Terry did on Athena, and it was just a jump in with a heavy kick, then stand C forward A into Shatter Strike, then stand C again into forward A again, and I think it was the power charge into power dunk. That did around like 400 or 450-ish worth of damage, like almost half life, and he only used one bar, but gained back half in the process because of Shatter Strike reward system. And Terry started like with 3 bars and almost a little more, and then ended with almost 4 bars. So he got a ton of damage off no bar, literally. Like he gained bar from that combo and was like really damaging. So it's like, what's the point of that much reward? Because there was so much damage already. So it's like now he ended up with so much bar, to just keep the offensive like really going. That's about Shatter Strike. I'm really happy with the EX moves being available for all characters outside of max mode, because apart from what Violent Kain said, that some characters just pop raw mode and abuse the EX system, there were many characters that didn't have access to EX moves if they didn't pop max mode. So characters like Ramon, for example, Ramon's command grab is 5 frames. It's supposed to be invincible, but the fact that he doesn't have a 1 frame command grab puts him at disadvantage from other grapplers, because even characters like Vice, Yuri, they have so many tools, plus they do have a 1 frame command grab. So Ramon's 1 frame command grab was the EX command grab, but he didn't have access to this all other than popping raw mode or trying to confirm a combo with quick max, and then it didn't work out, so you are stuck with some max mode bar left, so you try to command grab. But being available at all times will make it so much better for so many characters to have, more options to both defend and attack the opponent. So I think that balances out the game and the characters way more, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, and actually, I wanted to give another example that, for example, Billy, he doesn't have an invincible DP.
Yeah.
So for him to access for an invincible DP, he needs to do the EX. But if he's pop, you can predict it right away. And in 13, they could do that. I feel like raw EX moves are like balances out the game overall.
Yeah, and I have one more example. Think about Dinosaur. Dinosaur's jumping grab is the EX version is able to go through projectiles, and that's huge because Dinosaur is so slow, and he needs to get in. He needs to work really hard. When he does, of course, it's really rewarding. But against characters that have projectiles, like especially EX ones like Hydern, Mature, sometimes it's really hard for him to get close or punish those. So I will have to pop raw max in order to have access to the EX jumping grab for whenever they did that. But because I had to pop raw max mod, players were usually okay. Then I just won't use fireballs anymore because I'm aware that you are trying to punish that. So it was obvious for me that if I pop raw max mod, I'm gonna look for those fireballs so they won't be used anymore. And having access to that EX move at all times means that I can just on reaction do it, and it gives a little more advantage, or it makes it more balanced in terms that I don't have to completely block everything, or if I pop raw max mod, I just give out what my plan is. So I think that's also why it's really good.
I was actually surprised that you said Ramon's command grab is 5 frames. I thought they buffed it to 1 in one of the patches. Unless that was
No, it was never like that. Every time that patch notes were coming out, I was like, oh man, I was just hoping for Ramon to have the 1 frame command grab, and for his down D and far D to be just a tiny bit faster. I think if those things were addressed, he would be not broken, but a little better, because especially the far D and down D are really, really slow in comparison to characters like Shunei, Gangil, Iori, Kyo, that have so many tools. And yeah, the command grab that never went to 1 frame, I think that also was a huge thing. But in KOF 15, even if they don't do that, even if they just keep his regular command at 5 frames and then the EX at 1, I think that won't be too bad, because EX moves will be available at the moment you have 1 bar. And Ramon has the ability to do the Tiger Road and cancel it, a lot of times, so it helps him build a little bit of meter. So I think it won't be that bad. But of course, if he gets a 1 frame command guard, that will be huge for Ramon, definitely.
And actually, a lot of people are gonna use EX moves more because they just spend half a bar now.
Exactly.
I kinda don't like that, but I feel like I'm not against it. I'm against about the shatter thing, but the half bar EX, they're okay.
About the EX bars, comparing it to, for example, KOF 13 from when they cast 1 bar, I don't mind the EX moves being half a bar because it gives you definitely more. It's more laid back, the system, in terms of you can play around even more, right? It's like I can make an EX fireball, man, it missed. Okay, I just I took my risk, but the downside was I didn't lose a whole bar. So definitely, yeah, it has cons and pros, right? You have more ways to mess around, etc. But in terms of if something becomes abusable or something like this, it could be okay, this character benefits so much from the EX moves only costing half of bar because he can throw 4 of these guys in a row, etc. But I think time will tell. I don't think it's a bad idea. So, and one last thing, this is a completely aesthetic. At the aspect that EX moves have a yellow flash, it kind of, I don't know, I didn't really like that change, just because it reminds me a lot of Street Fighter. It's nothing personal. It's just that when they were introduced in KOF 13 and they had a blue flash, I was like, oh, that looks so cool. They chose a different color and they chose the color blue, bright blue, and it looks It looks really cool. I like it. It's not the same. It's not that. I don't know. It's personally for me. I don't really like the yellow color anyway. So it was like when I saw the X moves being with a yellow flash, I was like, ah man, the blue flash gone. But that's it.
And yeah, the actually, if you think about it, you can see the blue color better than the yellow color. So
Yeah, I
I
just thought it
can
looked cooler.
agree with this.
But yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure. The blue is easier to see in this one. Funny enough, you mentioned about the yellow EX, because Oda used to. Oh, he worked on Street Fighter 4, and they have.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought when he
Yeah.
was saying that.
Yeah. Because there's some stuff that was like very Street Fighter 4-ish, and I was like, man,
yeah,
the windscreen was very Street Fighter 4. The Shatter Strike, I was like, is this our version of Focus Attack?
yeah. It's the what's it called? It's like a universal V skill.
Oh, the Focus Attack.
Actually,
Yeah, it could be like
a lot of people in the Mexican community you call it focus attack, and I tell everybody it is not focus attack.
yeah. Talking about those kind of things that look like a Street Fighter-ish, I was reminding myself about a Street Fighter Third Strike that has the when you press the both medium kick and medium punch, every character does like a small jump attack.
Oh, Universal
Mm.
Overhead.
Yeah, I think that was a cool mechanic for all the characters to have. So it's like I don't mind those kinds of additions because if it's balanced well enough, just like they're trying to do Shatter Strike or this move from Street Fighter 3, I think it gives just way more tools for all the characters, especially when there's characters like, okay, this is a zoner, okay, this is a grappler, but everybody has access to Shatter Strike. Everybody has access to like in this case, the grapplers. They have a huge benefit with Shatter Strike because it's another way of using a reversal, which usually grapplers are not. They are known for not having DPs or big anti-air moves, which brings me also to the point that I'm really surprised that like when Dinosaur got a DP, I was like, what is wow, like that's insane. Like he's a grappler. He controls a ground pretty well in 14. Like having a DP is that's like a dream come true. Honestly, it's like EX version is probably gonna be invincible, like no way out. And I'm pretty happy about that because in 14, all I could do was use down C with its guard point, and then at times that button had a lot of faults. Like the recovery was insane. So there were times where opponent will jump in, I will guard point, but they will land in time. They throw it so low that, and Dinosaur's move is so slow that the character will be able to land and block. And I will be left with my blocking recovery, a blocked normal recovery, and they could punish me like really easily. Also, I will be happy if Dinosaur could get the lows into the EX, claw attack. That way he will be able to combo a little bit more, but if not, that sounds fine still. And sorry, you were gonna say something, Kain?
That down C, it is like really easy to whiff punish it. You can bait it and then punish it. So I feel like Dinosaur getting a DP is something that he needed because he's really slow. He's got a like good normals, at least the weak ones.
Yeah, the weak ones are really good.
He's not really good at chasing, and a grappler needs to chase really good, so he needs that DP.
So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes out.
Since we're recording during like Tokyo Game Show, Dune's like releasing like content for the game, which is really cool. He gets like direct feed on it and stuff. Did you guys see like some of the stuff that he was trying out with Shatter Strike? There was one video that came out with Athena like maybe 30 minutes ago where Athena like used Shatter Strike and she was able to she's able to armor like 20 hits of the Phoenix Arrow and stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one.
It just came out like
Yeah.
minutes ago.
Yeah, I saw it, and I think it's okay because you're spinning a bar. But I don't feel that it is good that if you land it, the game is gonna reward you because you landed it. I think the reward is making a combo, not getting bar back.
Oh, okay. I'm just watching the video also as we speak.
Oh, because
The,
I was gonna put it in for you.
the Phoenix arrow into that crashes with the Shatter Strike. I think it's pretty cool, which means Shatter Strike really has a pretty good priority when you call it right. I think that's fair because it's like, okay, you're risking it already, and if it's blocked, it's easily punishable. And I like it. I really, really like it. The fact that it's not invincible on startup, like it's throw vulnerable, and then you can low profile it. Because I was thinking, oh, everybody's gonna mash, wake up Shatter Strike, and I would be fine with that because you just gotta bait it. Like you run and you block, you do a normal and you wait, then you like do a wait and do the throw, stuff like that. But in the fact that it's throw vulnerable and low profile level, I think that's really cool. It balances out the move overall.
And I get the feeling that it cannot be used as a DP, as it comes out really slow.
Yeah, and the only thing I haven't seen, I was telling Violent Kain earlier, I haven't seen any confirms from low into Shatter Strike, which I don't think will be able to combo since Shatter Strike looks like he has a pretty decent startup. And I also think that's fine, because then if you wanna confirm from lows, probably some characters will benefit more from max mode. Other characters like Iori that can do, low kick, low punch into the command normal, forward A, they probably can do Shatter Strike from lows, but other characters won't be able to.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Rosa, because you can actually combos into Shatter Strike from lows, but you need like a lows that combos into command normals for that to happen.
Oh, I see. Well, that's still pretty good. I'm pretty sure in that case, the scaling, will be also adding up, because I've seen that Shatter Strike adds quite some scaling, and I also think that's a really good addition, especially if you can combo it from lows. So using 2 lows or 3 to confirm and doing a Shatter Strike will mean that your combo is guaranteed, but it won't do as much damage. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fair too.
Yeah.
Because someone from China, there's a tweet, but someone from China confirmed that Shatter Strike added an extra 20% towards scaling.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, and he
I
also.
will say, sorry to interrupt. I will say that I wouldn't even mind. We'll see how the game develops, but I wouldn't even mind if the scaling was a little bit higher, like 22-25% maybe.
Yeah, because also the guy in China who says he playtest. There's apparently a demo in China. They said that Shatter Strike is now armor on frame 1.
Oh yeah,
So
and I saw a couple videos low profiling it. I haven't seen the grab, someone getting a grab out of Shatter Strike, but I would love to see that, just to confirm.
So I'm assuming. Well, I think it's safe to assume we all watched the SNK event video, the 1 hour one with like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 4 other.
I actually did a stream about it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you Violent Kain restreamed in Spanish. That was cool. I was watching both streams, the official one and on the stream with Violent Kain. Yeah, we were there.
Actually, I talked to the SNK guys and they let me restream right away.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's cool of them. Nice, congrats.
Yeah, I think the KOF staff is like it's so fun to be able to to have opportunities like this, like to talk with them. Like Violent Kain, you ask them for permission, they say, hey, yeah, do it, that's fine. Or when we have seen them a couple times at tournaments, like I think on Evo 2016 when KOF 14 was out, like just seeing them around, it's like, oh man, these are the guys behind KOF. That's so cool that we're in touch with them, that sometimes they respond to our tweets, that we engage in stuff with the people that are making KOF. I think that's really cool for us to be experiencing.
The fun thing is that if you add Oda in Facebook, he's gonna accept you right away.
That's so cool. And then he'll like some of your posts and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been a really fun trip.
That's pretty good. So, was there anything that you guys like from the exhibition?
Well, my favorite part about the exhibition, I think it was definitely the character Isla, the trader. I think it was. I was really expecting to see her soon, and I was happy that it was the reveal. It was her in the reveal. I really like the look of the character, and I will definitely try her out when she's out. But I think it's one of those characters that will be like really popular when the game comes out. But maybe not everyone will be sticking with her in terms of her gameplay because it looks a little technical. Like to make it work right, like really optimal. I think you'll have to explore a lot of options, and there's a lot of people that just don't like to go in the lab, and she has like these moves where she changes direction in the air. I think when a character has that option, it's like so much more options available for him when they can change air trajectory. And I think she has like a dive kick, I don't remember, and the juggles
Yeah,
after the
yeah.
super seem pretty cool. I'm just hoping, like everything, I'm just hoping everything's kind of balanced out, but she looks like a really cool character. When I see people complaining like, oh, her design is like out of Splatoon and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, and what's wrong if they make these characters look, they're trying like, like I understand the fashion and the trends and stuff like that. Nowadays it's different. It's like people want to see characters dress up like Iori all the time, it's just not possible. The same with Shunei,
She
he has
is
like a
from
really,
Splatoon.
yeah, I think that's cool to say. My daughter plays Splatoon, and I know very well that game because I've seen her. Actually, she's playing right now as we do the interview, and I think it's a really cool game. It has a pretty cool backstory, and the characters are well developed. The music is amazing. So when people say like she's from Splatoon, it's like, hell yes, Splatoon is cool. It's a game that's really well designed, and these modern looks with extravagant clothes like huge jackets or jackets that are opened up. The fact that Shunei has a rolled up pants sleeve, that's like that's so cool. Like, who the hell was like, yeah, roll up one sleeve, just one.
Actually,
Right.
I feel like KOF needed a character like that.
Yeah, it's like,
And she's where her design is really well done.
and you still have characters that have like these really shady, mysterious, extravagant, exotic look. Like, we have Najid and Kukri. They still have that style. I mean, everything's in there. It's the classic ideas from flashy, dark, cute, and modern characters that KOF has. I've always loved the designs that they pick for KOF characters. Like, I just think the SNK universe is, in terms of characters, it's incredible. So I'm happy with the design. I'm really excited about the other new characters coming, and I really have a lot of hopes for the DLC characters because I think this game can manage a roster like 2002 UM's roster, a roster of that size. I think KOF being a 3 versus 3 and with the patch culture, I think it's really doable that this game has even more characters than KOF 14 in the future, and also considering the lifetime of these games that is usually trying to be from anywhere from 3 to 5, 6 years. So I'm excited for the new characters and everything that's coming up.
Yeah, she did have like a pseudo dive kick. There was a Japanese video that came out, and it's a direct feed, and it's showing off all the movesets in the normals. I'm not sure if you guys seen it.
I've seen a couple.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes long. It's first half of the video is just going through the characters and like the moveset, and then the rest of the half is just showing off like a little bit of combos and like applications of it during the match and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
I'll send you the link later.
Oh, cool. Yeah, send anything you have my way.
But you know what's crazy though? Like, she has a really good JCD, and her Farsi, I think it's her Farsi, and her jump is extremely good. I was like, wow.
Yeah, like that Farsi.
I was thinking like, well, we might as well not have Kula at this rate.
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
think she
so.
will come
I
back.
think she's gonna be there, but maybe not in the main roster, but as a DLC for sure.
Also, you know what? At the beginning I didn't like the change when they modified the life bars. That some characters have different amounts. But right now that I think of it, I think it's also it adds some deepness to the game. So I think if they do that again, I wouldn't mind, for characters to have different amounts, like I don't know, Athena 950, 975. I think they could play around more if they do that, like in Street Fighter, because they use they cut down in values a little more. Like they might do 725 or stuff like this, whereas in KOF all the increments are by 50. So if they play around with those numbers, I think they could balance it out more, and it will be even it will be even deeper for us to try to, okay, oh, this character has so much life, and this character can take a lot, like King of Dinosaurs or Chang in 14, and they can take a lot of damage, and characters like Cool and Leona that just get depleted down. But I think that's a nice addition if they do it again.
Violent Kain, you play a little bit of Sam Show?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the DLC characters, they have some little bit of crossover. One from a Chinese mobile game, the other one's like from For Honor, and the other one's from Guilty Gear. Is there?
That was so cool.
Yeah. Do you guys want anything like that for KOF 15? And if so, who would you guys want?
I actually feel like the For Honor character was like really not necessary. But it was a cool addition. It is a fun character to play. And I get the feeling that in KOF they should like do the crossovers that, for example, Tekken has been doing, like getting the most famous, the most popular characters into the game. That would be really cool. Like another titles team or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
for sure.
In terms, I have a very split. How would you say? I feel some part of me says they should do it because they working with other companies with popular characters and get people excited, and those crossovers definitely are a nice thing to play out. But on the other hand, SNK's character universe is so diverse, so unique, so cool that they have so much to pick from their own franchise, and people will be excited, in the same way, probably. Like, World Heroes characters or more characters from Art of Fighting or Fatal Fury or from other KOFs, from other fighting games like Kizuna Encounter. There's so much that SNK can do from their own universe. So if they actually did crossovers, I think it will be a good idea because this game is 3 versus 3. So if they want to keep it like on team DLCs as teams, maybe they could do like Violent Kain, say like, okay, guests, team guest number 1, or give it a name, but maybe like, okay, this team has a character from Tekken, from Guilty Gear, and from Street Fighter.
Team, Guilty Gear team, or something
but I'm not sure if I would want like a full 3 characters from Tekken, a full 3 characters from Guilty Gear, a full 3 characters team from Street Fighter. I don't know if that will be the right approach, because it might be like, okay, like 3 guest characters is like, holy shit, that's a lot. And if you do 3 guest teams or 2 guest teams, you only get to pick, 2 companies to do the crossovers. But if they do like, okay, we'll make 2 teams of guest characters, then they can get 6 characters from different games, or even maybe just 1 team from, guests from different games. And I think that would work fine.
And
instead of 3
I actually get the feeling if they do crossovers, I like that SNK doesn't nerf the characters from another titles, because Capcom is really known for that. And in CBS 2, almost all SNK fighters are garbage. So, for example, in SBC Chaos, it was pretty balanced out. There was Capcom top tiers and SNK top tiers. And if they do crossovers in this game, it's gonna be really, really good.
I think just to finish that topic, I think the rivalry that like Capcom and SNK had when doing those games in the past and stuff like that, I think it will work really well in this time, because I don't see the companies so much like fighting each other. It's like everyone has talked about how cool the SNK versus Capcom games were and stuff like that. So, and that everybody will love another one. So I think that the companies know that if a crossover is happening, it's like, yeah, it's for the best intentions of both companies. Like, we'll have your character, he'll be cool, people will love our game and will love your character, so they'll try your games out. So I think everybody's trying to help each other out, because there was a time where arcades were dying, and like this time COVID hit the pandemic, and we've been stuck, we've been at home, and the companies also have been impacted by everything that's going around. So helping each other out and fans loving it, like, oh, it's guest characters from a game, like, why not? Yeah, everybody loves it. So I think they won't nerf them. I think like everything should be balanced out, and I think they will do that. So it will definitely be really cool to have guest characters from other games in KOF.
But like, who would you guys want? Like, what would be like your wish list?
If I would
get
say,
the feeling that. Okay,
Go.
go on.
yeah, go ahead. Okay, I'll go since you insist. In terms of characters from other games, I really hadn't thought a lot about that. But if they would pick one character, it would be really hard because let's say Street Fighter. It's one of the most obvious or common that might or could happen. I wouldn't want Ryu.
Oh no, or else I'm like, no, don't worry, don't worry about anyone else. I'm like, don't worry about the game, just what you want.
Oh, what I want? Ooh. Okay. I've been hoping a long time from Momoko or Malin to come back in another game because they were really unexplored and they were really cool characters. Just in my opinion, those were really, really cool characters to mess around with. And if I were to think from another game, I would really love to see, I don't know, like a really cool or weird character. Like, let's say from Street Fighter, I would love someone like Necro or 12 or one of those characters that are like really exotic and really cool to move when they are played because their styles look so different than someone that just does a DP and a fireball. So I'm down for all the characters that have really different and unique designs. And of course, I would really love the USA sports teams back. I think everybody wants that. I think SNK won't miss this chance. I think they will deliver. I just have a feeling, how the game is going and how people have been so insistent. We've seen lots of memes of those guys coming back.
They're just a meme, man. By now, they're just in meme state.
Yeah.
And honestly, I will be like, hell yeah! If that team's coming back, it will be so fun because they have so different moves and their personalities are really fun. Like, I will definitely play Lucky. From those first three, Lucky will be my first pick. Like, I really hope if he makes it, that he's like, cool and all this stuff. Who fights with basketballs? That's so cool. But yeah.
Yeah, for me, I would like to get Shingo back. He needs to be back in KOF. Also, another Samurai Shodown character would be nice, but I wouldn't like that Hammer makes it or Genjiro makes it. So like Shiki or some obscure character. Actually, I've been like wanting John to make it for years, but he hasn't made it in KOF. Maybe we can get it as Oda likes those old games a lot. I think he gives preference to Fate of Fury because we actually saw that in this demo because Terry seems pretty buffed, man. They buffed him a lot, so
Terry looks fun.
Yeah. They
And
gave like a true DP motion. They made power charge like plus or something. It's insane, and it's free cancel.
yeah.
Power dunk has armor. What is this?
Yeah,
I don't complain because I love Terry. So if he's really good, I'm gonna play him again.
I think he needs to shine. I think it's his time to shine. He's been in Smash. I think I think it was really cool that they picked him for Smash Brothers. But yeah, I wouldn't mind being Terry is a top tier because I think he hasn't had the chance. He's a really cool character. He's really buff in 15. Also, going back to characters, I think when I first saw the Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, I was really excited. There were characters from War Heroes there. It would be really cool if they decided to add a War Heroes team. At least for me, I think that universe, those characters are really cool, really unique. So if they brought Mudman, even if they, in this case, even if they do populars like Hands of Woman, Mudman, I think even that will be like really cool for them to be there. Or some other characters. They're really cool.
I actually get the feeling because of the Metal Slug scenario that maybe a Metal Slug character is gonna make it.
That would be so cool. Yeah. Since 2000 we had Theo as a striker. Why not? Like, there's like at least there has been a design of a official design of a Metal Slug character in KOF. So that wouldn't be too far to think. Yeah, that would be
Also, I
cool.
would like Rock to make it back. I don't think she's gonna make it in the main roster, but let's hope he makes it as a DLC again. And
No,
please,
yeah.
please buff him because he's
Rock.
garbage in 14. He's garbage in 14.
That is true. That is true. But you know,
yeah.
Rock is definitely the money maker. They have to make him DLC.
Yeah.
He is. Actually, he's like the guy in the cover right now, and they removed Shunei and they made him in the cover for some time. But
Yeah.
man, actually, I feel like Rob because Oda tweeted that I'm pretty sure. Okay, he said something like, "I'm really proud because Rocky he's in low tier anymore," and we were like, "Fuck, he's top tier now," and we were really happy. Actually, a lot of guys in the community. I don't know if you remember Canibalito. He was posting that he was going to main Rock and he's gonna beat the shit out of everybody with him. And when he came down, we were like, okay, this is not good.
Yeah, he has no cross up. He had no cross up. And also, if you never kind of believe though, he beat I forgot which SCR that he won, but I know he beat it Renault in grand finals. And he
Yeah, I think
and he went to Korea for IGT.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his anti-airs were really bad. His normals. That was the problem with the character.
It was a sluggish character. He's like slow and flimsy.
The combos were really good, but what do you need to do a combo? Like hit a normal first, so that's why he's garbage.
Oh man, so we just came from KOF 14, which had a 50 character launch at the start of the game. We had 50 characters launch. KOF 15 announced 39 characters will be available at the launch. Obviously, we have a bunch of DLC on the way. How did you guys feel that we went from 50 characters at the start to now 39? Personally,
I think it is really good.
Yeah, I think 50 was way too much. It was way too much. Even if we knew like all the legacy characters, there was like 20. It was like 20 something brand new characters, and it was just like wow. And we had to learn the system on the way too. It was an insane amount of learning.
Yeah, I get the feeling that I actually a lot of people when the first trailers came out, I was talking with the followers and I said I really would like this KF to come out with not a lot of characters because that was the problem with 14. Actually, for a long time ago, even less than half of the roster were used. And if you notice that if you release a game with a few characters, maybe you get the feeling that 39 characters are a few, but I think it is like a huge number, and it's gonna be easier to balance them out. And as time passes on, they can like create new DLCs, and they will have time to balance them out because in 14 the game was completely broken when it came out. So I like that this is happening because I get the feeling that the game is gonna, well, it's not gonna be perfect, but at least it's gonna be balanced.
Yeah.
I think what was the initial roster of 14? 40 something? 48?
It was 50.
52, I think.
For the first roster, the beginning roster?
Yeah.
It was 50.
Not the ending.
No.
Oh wow.
It was
No.
It was 50.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it was 50.
Oh yeah, because of the ball. Well, it was close to 50. We know that. Honestly, I didn't mind because, well, for me, the more options available, the better. Because eventually we will learn everything, so it just gives us more option in terms of gameplay and stuff like that. And The same way, I don't mind that this time they chose to have less characters. I think a number around like 40, like rounded to 40, not less, not more. I think that's a pretty good amount. Just like you said, Lightning, it's I think it's balanced out in terms that, okay, we have options there for characters, for moves, and then we can learn the system along the way. We're not overwhelmed with characters, but at the same way, we're not like, oh man, everybody's speaking the same 3 teams, etc. But yeah, I think 39 is a really nice number to put out there. And they already announced 2 DLC teams, which the way things are going, I think if that's all they do in a year, I don't think that's bad. Because let's say that we have 2 teams a year, that will add like, we'll say, let's see, 6, 18 characters in 3 years? It will be like, that's not bad. So we'll see how everything heads out. I think the number is a nice number, definitely.
And I actually seen that a lot of people have been complaining about not getting newcomers, and I get the feeling that it is the right approach for the game, because in 14 there were a lot of newcomers and nobody knew them and nobody cared about them at first. So
yeah, and at the same way, just like we talked in the past.
Getting just a new team or just one team of new characters, it's okay. And there are a lot of there's a lot of fan service in this game, so that I really like that.
Oh, for sure. This game has like KOF. Some of the stuff in this game, like for 15, has like reference, or like not even reference. Like they took designs from KOF 2000, like the music, the costume for Kyo and Iori, and the small little details. The small little details for this is insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, I actually love the new outfit for Iori. Damn,
it looks cool. Yeah.
He's showing the money now.
Pimp Iori.
See the white color?
Yeah, it's like Pimp Iori.
Yeah, I actually, Ron was on my stream the other day and he said it is Godfather Iori.
Do you know what he looks like? Did you play the Yakuza series?
Yeah.
He has the Q. It looks like Q, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I haven't played it, but I saw the reference. It looks really like him.
Maybe that's what SNK were going for.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's there's tributes to other games in every game, so if they did that purposely, I wouldn't be surprised. And it's it's a really nice addition, and a nice Easter egg, like they call them. Oh, just coming back really quick, one of the characters I would like to have back is Kenzo, because he was garbage on 14. He was like so bad. The design was horrible. Like from the cool Kenzo that we had on 13, or even the one in 11 where he had all the moves available. Or they talked that there was like a subplot on the KOF story that Kenzo had like this dragon power, stuff like that. It would be really cool if they work something around that, or if not, at least to have Kenzo back, in a better shape than he was in 14.
I get the feeling that they just forgot about it, and I feel like Kenzo is not gonna make it, at least in the main roster.
Yeah, in the main roster, definitely no. But in the future, even if he's not back, I wouldn't mind. There's so many cool options right now that if they put some characters to rest, like Kenzo's been in every KOF other than 12, I think, and 2003. But yeah, if he takes a rest, that's fine. Chin can stay there.
That's why I play the protagonist.
Yeah, and Chin can stay there. Let Chin rest, man.
Dude, you know who needs a rest? Kim.
Who?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I was so surprised. Like now that you mention it, everybody seems to notice that. Like, huh? Luong, okay. Where's Kim?
It would be really, really funny that if SNK comes with the statement that they delayed Kim because of the pants. That would be really, really cool.
Oh yeah.
I want to enjoy 15 before he comes back, because he's gonna have 10 EX Iori on.
Yeah, if they do that, they have to really balance out that move. But yeah, if Kim comes back, I wouldn't mind, because I think he's a pretty cool character. But also one of the things that I really like about Kim is that he's been with so many different characters on his team that, Kim coming back on a team means that we could either get Chang, Choi, Jun, even melee. Oh no, someone else, Gangil, etc. So he's always been with cool teams, even with the surprise of 13. He was with Raiden and Huajai. So yeah,
Actually, now that you mention that about EX moves, in 13 EX moves didn't do any guard damage, and I didn't look for that in the new info that came out.
really they
So,
don't take out blocking damage.
guard damage.
Hmm.
In 13, the EX moves don't do guard damage, and well, as far as I remember that would be nice if they balance out so people wouldn't spam those EX moves for doing guard crushes.
Oh, I see. Well, but there were some moves that did have specific properties. Like I remember Takuma's EX Fireball used to take out half of the guard bar, or Mr. Karate's EX Fireball, was a guard crush. Definitely, that was a guard crush.
Yeah, there were like really well. Some moves had their properties, but as far as I remember, they didn't do like a lot of guard crush damage, and that was the problem in 13 too.
Yeah, as long as the value is not, way too much, because definitely if there's gonna have characters that can abuse or use EX moves, because EX moves, a lot of them tend to be safer versions. It's either like an overpowered version that has a long startup or long recovery, or a not so powerful version but more of a speedy one. So if there's like definitely a EX move that it's pretty fast on recovery, so you can punish it, and it turns out that it does a lot of guard damage, then yeah, it will be unfair because there will be characters that could abuse the guard curse system. So yeah, nice point out.
I actually would like to that EX move. They remove the safe EX moves. That was on 13. That, for example, mature EXDP, and if she failed, that was a big punish. But in 14, that was impossible.
Yeah, only
So,
if she was close, you could like low profile her after she
well,
ended.
after
Yeah.
the many patches, man.
Yeah,
At
at the
first,
beginning.
it
Yeah, at
was
the beginning it
like,
was impossible. So yeah,
No,
I,
the only way you could punish it was just by throw.
yeah, I think they
mhm.
have to take those considerations. Really, really put some focus on how to balance recoveries and startups and properties of the X moves, just like Violent Kain said. Because even if it's not just the recovery time, sometimes it's like, okay, this is invincible like way too much, and it does way too much damage, and so yeah, like balance it. If it's gonna be completely invincible, maybe the damage not so high, maybe the follow up is not so easy to do, because yeah, we want
Yeah,
we would like things
yeah,
to be as balanced as possible.
yeah. EX moves should be like, there's this move that has invincibility and good damage, but you should know that you're taking a risk by doing
Mm.
that move. So I didn't like at all that you could do those moves with those properties without taking any risk.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Coolest EX race spin in the original arcade of 13.
Yeah, that
Oh
was
yeah.
like, yeah, and it was safe. Or like in 14, Oswald's EX corsical back kicks, the overhead.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
It has like it's super fast. It reaches super far, and there's no way you can punish it if you block it right. And then he gets a follow up like a guard crush or stuff if you stay there. So yeah, just balance them out. You should be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, with the pandemic going on and just making everyone stay home, like how you guys been doing it? How you guys been keeping up with your training in general?
I've been playing a lot of online matches. Actually, I since the pandemic started, uh, I stopped playing offline matches actually, and I was streaming just once or twice a week. And with the pandemic, I started like streaming almost all the week, so I kept the viewers engaged, and it helped me a lot because I actually kind of hated online play. because on offline playing is really different. Actually,
Yeah, it's not the
there are
same.
some things that you cannot take advantage of in online. For example, with punishing, it is really hard or almost unusable online. So I didn't like that, but it is what it is. I had to adapt, and the cool thing is that there were a lot of tournaments, maybe 2-3 tournaments a week. So that's what I did, and I've seen a lot of people who are like going to the local locates, but I rather just stay home and don't risk the health of my family, you know. So that's what
Understandable.
I've been doing.
Yeah, I also understand that in Mexico the measures are a little different, because of how everything's moving out. Since the pandemic started here, I remember there were a couple tournaments a week or spaced out between every 15 days, and that was pretty cool. Then after a while, that kind of stopped. I remember there's not as many anymore, but yeah, when those tournaments were around, I was trying to play whenever I could. I remember I started doing really good. I won like three or four online tournaments, like pretty close to each other when the pandemic started. And I've been trying just to same as Violent K. I've been joining his stream whenever I can. Sometimes I'm busy. Sometimes there's like some other stuff going on in my life. So it's in with the pandemic and everything, it's been really hard to like find this motivation to like just keep going. It's been a really hard time for me personally, but KOF has helped me a lot to have something to look forward to. The community, uh, how we share, how we talk about it, how we feel the same excitement for this game that's coming out. So yeah, definitely KOF has been a really big part in my life right now in helping me stay focused and having something to look out for. And yeah, definitely going back to the point that Violent Kid mentioned, offline play, of course, it's so much nicer. There's some things that can be abused in online play, aside from the being hard to punish. Especially in 14, I remember that it's very easy, since normal grabs are one frame. It's easy for players to jump and throw a air normal, and they just land close to you. So when they throw a normal, your character goes into the block animation because of the proximity. So when they land that normal whiff, and then they grab you, they normal grab you because they are close to you. But since it's online, you cannot react to the grab, so it's very easy to get grabbed that way. There's a couple players that have been able to abuse this system, which is nice. They found a way that online works. It's just that on reaction, anything that's on reaction, it's really hard to like do it or be 100% assertive about a situation. So it's like, okay, you try to punish, you get blocked. You try to react a grab, you get thrown, etc. So yeah, definitely it's been a challenge. There's some really bad laggy connections even in the tournaments, but we've learned. I think we've learned to come to like it as it is, because it's like it's either that or nothing. So I think we're happy that we can at least interact online, even if it's not the optimal way. And yeah, I'm really hoping that the world settles a little more, so offline events become a thing again. There's not so many people getting sick, and we can all enjoy tournaments like we did. Go to big events, be there on stage, go out for food. Man, I really miss those times.
Hmm. Yeah, I kind of miss it too, man. And I wanted to add that, for example, there's a lot of people who hate online play, but to be honest, there are some good things that comes by it. So you can, because of the delay, you can get a better like guard blocking. You get better at blocking, and I actually, when I started playing online again, because I was an online warrior way back when 13 came out in console, and I stopped playing 13 in console because when you played offline, I tend to drop all the combos because you do it like before the the move hits. But I get the feeling, for example, if you try to anti-air with the DP in 14, it is really extremely hard. And if you really practice it, I get the feeling that when you get back to offline, I actually was kind of wondering about that, and I went to a local of 9 tournament like 2 weeks ago, and I noticed that I became better with the DPS by just playing online. So it really works if you focus on what you should train for.
That's for sure.
Yeah, and one last thing. Now that I remember, lately, Violent Kain and I, we have been playing like a lot, like really a lot. Like almost every day or every 2-3 days, we play a first to 10. And I remember in the past, I really had a hard time because I was like looking a lot for people to play with from from the friends that I know, but everybody was kind of busy. So these past couple of months, that Violent Kain has told me like, hey, can you play now? And I will be like, oh yeah, sure. Or if I can't right now, but maybe later or maybe tomorrow. So it's like we've been constant inviting ourselves, which I recommend people to, like, if you can't find like a partner or someone that plays the game, like even if it's the same person, like use it to your advantage. Try to train, try to get better, because that's also what's motivated me to play a lot. So actually, Violent Kain, I wanted to thank you for also being training with me, because the fact that you tell me, hey, can you play? And I will be like, oh yeah, for sure, let's play right now. Or no, I can't, let's do it tomorrow. But it keeps me engaging, like, yeah, let's just play. And also, at least for me, playing just casually, I tend to play like really chill and laid back and not give really a lot of thought into the process. But playing a first to something, first to 3, first to 5, first to 10, even if it's just for the sake of it, I think it really helps to have that little set goal. So when someone asks me like, hey, can you play? I will like, yeah, sure, let's do a first to 5 or let's do a first to 10, because then you have a goal. A set goal says like, oh man, I'm 5 games down. What can I do to win? So you start unconsciously you start sometimes to that thought process that maybe you don't know how to start. Like, what can I do to get better? What mistakes am I making? Why is my opponent doing this stuff? One thing that has helped me to not get discouraged or mad at myself is like, okay, if I got hit by something, it means I made something wrong and my opponent did something right. And then with that evaluation in mind, okay, find out what's happening. So yeah, definitely during the pandemic, training with someone and doing first to some things, first to 1, 2, 3, first to 5, 10, stuff like that, has helped me way too much.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to address something that I've been doing that maybe is gonna work for you, Rosa, and everybody who's listening. Here in Mexico, you know that everywhere there's drama. So in Samurai Showdown, there was kind of drama here in Mexico. I don't want to go full details about it, but
yeah,
the thing is that these guys didn't want to play me anymore. So what I did is enter as many tournaments as I could, and I learned the matches just like that. And also, I tended to play against the CPU for the matches that I didn't know. And you would think that the CPU is no good, but you really can learn a thing or two by playing against the bad matches for you. So
yeah, the characters you don't know.
Let's imagine that there's a character that you don't know if you can punish them their moves, or if they do a mix of, you don't know if they're plus or you're minus. You can check it on training and then try to react to it against the CPU, and that really helped me out in that game.
Yeah, like people should, like, so I think some people don't have the idea of how to laugh. So my advice would be recreate the situation. So you saw something like, okay, why did I get punished? Why couldn't I punish? Okay, what happened? Take it, go to training, and hit record on the opponent. and then test it out as many times as you want with as many possibilities as you want. That's how you start the lapping process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Speaking of like online stuff, thankfully, KOF 2K2 UM, now 98 UM, and 15 are getting rolled.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Thank you.
Heck yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I actually like 98 a lot better than 2K2. And actually I have like a feud with 2K2 community, and maybe that's what influences me to like 98 more.
It
I
could
see.
be.
But I was really happy, man.
Yeah, I was really happy too when I saw it. I mean, I think it's just for Steam right now. I think there's I don't think there's a port, but it could be a port coming to PS4 or PS5, just like they did with 2K2 UM. That would be nice because players like me, I don't really have a PC to play Steam on, so I'm hoping that something that like that will happen for 98 UM. But yeah, I'm really really happy because it's a really unique game too, and the mechanics they added were really nice, and we have the USA sports team there, so I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I was really happy about that, and yeah, definitely KOF 15 having rollback, like yes, thank you, we can play better now.
You also, speaking of, I was gonna ask this question for you guys, but just to give context, ET has mentioned that 2K2 UM rollback and being released on PS4 gave the game a lot of life. Like it actually had a huge effect for
It actually did.
yeah.
Yes.
He said a lot more people are playing KOF, and if they wanted to try KOF 15, it actually got them to play like 2K2 UM and 14 and stuff like that. I think 98 will probably have a similar effect once it comes out.
Yeah, I think it has a positive impact.
Actually, now that you mention it, it actually was positive here too in Mexico, because the problem with 2K2 UM is that when it came out, we already know that in Mexico there's a lot of piracy.
Mhm.
So you would see 2K2 Magic Plus cartridges
Everywhere.
in every corner of the country.
Hold on, what's Magic?
So when
It's a bootleg version that has infinite powers, and there's been like so many
infinite bars,
variations.
and
Yeah.
they go on feuds, because if you guard cancel blowback, it is forbidden. If you
And
do it, they're gonna hit you in real life.
you know, then after that they had the Magic Plus, the version number 2, which was really funny because if you press neutral CD, it will switch to the next character. Like if you had Kensu and then Athena in second position, with your Kensu you'll press CD and boom, Athena comes out blowing CD. So it will be really fun to play around with that stupid stuff. But yeah, it's definitely like they were all around. So there were like even like little pharmacy stores or drug stores or liquor stores will have like a machine with a pirated version of KOF with infinite supers. So that's why it's very popular.
And even if you think that a game like that is just for having fun for a little while, it is a huge community, and they do a lot of tournaments playing with infinite bars, and there are versions that they make like infinite combos or so, and they do tournaments about that. So what I was going for is that when 2K2 UM came out, they didn't want to play it because it was expensive.
Yeah.
So 2K2 Vanilla was pretty cheap at that time. So they didn't want to play it because of that. That happened with 13 also. So
And also,
when
go, go, go.
2K2 when 2K2 UM got rollback, I saw that a lot of 2K2 vanilla players, vanilla top tiers, they moved into UM. So it was really really cool. But there are a lot of people playing vanilla on 5K. So and those people who play vanilla, they love vanilla. Trash talk about other KOFs.
And
So
that's what I was
that's my
going.
feud with them.
that's what I was going, because I remember that when 2K2 came out, apart from being expensive, the old school players were like, "Oh man, Angel has no infinite. Kim is not broken. No, I don't want to play it." That was also why they had their top tier. So KOF 02 Vanilla has a really cult culture going out for it. Like, it's a very special game from the Latin American community. You've seen everywhere. And
It is a good game. It is
yeah, it is.
a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good game, but the thing that they don't want to move on, it is a
Yes.
problem.
Yeah, it's because in Mexico there's sadly still, I think it's less than before, but there's still a pretty big hate inside the community. Like, they trash each other's favorite version and stuff like that. So it's like that's been going down as we speak, but they're still there. I think players need to learn to respect each other's opinion and try out games. And if they like it, yeah, you move from Vanilla 2 to 2K2 why not? Then you can move back, etc. So less trash talk and less more enjoying.
Yeah, it's kind
You
of
know what?
Sorry.
There are people. People has come into my stream and asked me what KOF was I playing, and I was like, man, this game came out 5 years ago. How would you not know this game? And it is really sad that they start trash talking about other games, and people who don't know, or like they are not really familiar with the saga, they don't get to know the other games, and because a lot of people trash talk about that.
Yeah.
There's a similar issue. Like, well, I guess I'll probably get flamed for this, but whatever. As someone who used to play Smash, you know how like the male
Yeah.
players, the
Yeah,
game is
yeah,
almost
yeah, I
20
know.
years old, and people are still playing it like crazy. So that's how
Mhm.
you
Actually, 2K2 Vanilla, it gets compared often with Melee.
Yeah.
in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say it's kind of, it could be kind of similar, definitely. I think the Vanilla 02 community, it's a nice community, and it's really big. It's like really underground. The thing is that most of the events and stuff like that right now, because of the pandemic, are done online using Fightcade, which is a platform that uses ROMs. So it's like it's not actually supporting SNK or stuff like that. So it's kind of like why it has, like, okay, maybe it's not the best thing. Like, if O2 Vanilla came out for the PS4s and they did events with the PS4, that means that we will be directly supporting SNK, because we bought the game for $5, etc. And I think that will be great. I think if SNK brings a port of Vanilla 02 with online play, official one, I think people would be delighted, and I think it will be a really good thing for SNK to do in the future.
Oh yeah, definitely. The port over the legacy games over, like the
Yeah.
97 and 2000 over.
Mm-hmm.
Those would have been good. So let's just say I'm coming to Mexico. What is like the capital of KOF in Mexico, and like what do you think I should do over there? Like, where should I go eat, or where should I go check out as like for being a tourist and stuff?
Actually, there are many states where KOF is played. The thing is that, as we mentioned, the most played KOF is O2, man.
Oh yeah.
And and actually, Tijuana, Puebla, Mexico City, and Veracruz are the states where more people play the new games. Recently, there's a team in Chihuahua that play a lot of KOF 14. In the 13 days, those were like the main states. Also, Sinaloa.
Yeah, I will say that let's pretend there's no pandemic, or the pandemic's done, and someone wants to, like, yeah, I want to go on a trip to Mexico. I would definitely say that the first spot to go is like, hey, go to Mexico City, because there's that will be my first suggestion, because there's so
And
much to do, so much to see, so much to visit, and there's so many players there, and from the closer parts of the state of Mexico, that they travel to Mexico City really often. So it's really easy to gather a crowd of, I don't know, 5, 10 people, 15 people that play the game, and have a nice amount of different matches with everyone.
And you can transport easily in Mexico City because there's so.
That's really nice. It'll be easy.
Like if you go, yeah, exactly. Like if you go to Mexico City, just like go on Twitter or Facebook, like, hey, players from Mexico, I want to visit. Like, what would you recommend? And I'm pretty sure, people in the KOF community, we always help each other out. I'm not there anymore, but if I were there, I would definitely be happy. Like, hey, there's this player from the US, from Colombia, from wherever you guys are coming, and definitely check out Mexico City. With get in contact with the players there. They will be really happy to greet you and take you places that are good for eating, that are good for visiting. It's always helping each other out. There's a lot of that in the community. Even though there's lots of drama and hate that we've talked about, the overall community of KOF in Mexico, it's good. It's really, really united. It's really good. So I will suggest start there, Mexico City.
Mexico City, all right. Yeah, because I talked to ET about I talked to ET about like what was his place to be stopping, like what's his go-to spot if we were to go to Taiwan, and he mentioned like Taipei. And funny enough, I don't think, did you guys know that he owns his own business?
ET?
Yeah.
Oh, ET? Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we went when we went to the Neo Geo World Tour. Was it the second one or the third?
Yeah.
Yeah, when we went to Taiwan, we went to his business. We were playing with him there. We supported him. Every time we went in, we paid the fee, which I think it's a really cool thing to do. Like, if someone has like a business as a friend, a friend has a business, you go there, you support him. So yeah, it was really fun to hang out with him and play matches with him and other guys from Taiwan.
Yeah.
Actually, that kind of business it is not possible in Mexico anymore because people don't want to pay it.
Oh, I see.
People don't want to pay it, and the security, it's really unsafe to have all that equipment in Mexico City because it's a big investment. Like, you'll have to get, like, right now you'll have to get at least PS4s and stuff like that.
It depends on the place, but
yeah, it depends. But it's still kind of sad, overall, that you have to be really, really wary and careful about your stuff because it's not like you can have PS4 even in the best part of the city. You can just have the PS4s there connected. You have to probably use like a lockbox that only has the USB ports coming out where you can connect the controller, stuff like that, because it's really easy for people to be like, hey, I'll just take this PS4 and I'm out of here. So plus the people, it's not that they don't want to pay because they don't want to play. It's because the
minimum wage is really, really low.
It's all tied to the economy. The minimum wage sucks, so people are like, man, I'm having to spend this much amount into playing. Like, it's too much, and we understand that. So that's why it's definitely not a good business model in Mexico right now, because of the condition the country's in. So that's why everybody's like, they save up, they go to friends' houses. Actually, this brings me back to when KOF 13 was out. When KOF 13 in the console version was out, I didn't have an Xbox or a PS3. All I could do was practice with the Xbox that we had at the arcade, or go to Violent Kain's house. Yes, go to Kusanagi, because Kusanagi also used to play KOF 13. I don't know if he'll play 15. Maybe he'll do, hopefully. But yeah, I had to go through that experience. I had to go to friends' houses to train and play. So maybe that's why I didn't get as good as I could, but that was definitely an option for me since I couldn't afford a console at the time. So I don't think it hasn't changed that much, from the current situation here in Mexico at this moment. So even though comparing the two countries, I'm really happy for ET that this business has worked out for him. But yeah, in Mexico, it's not something very common. The few places that had that, they broke down because it was too expensive to maintain and people didn't want to pay, didn't have any money. So it was, even the community tried to help out each other, but it's just not something that's like really feasible right now.
Yeah, it's not even manageable in the US. Like, Esports Arena just went out of business.
Ooh,
really?
Yeah, Esports Arena just went out of business. So I don't know what's their plan now. They announced it on Twitter and stuff. So we're trying to figure that out.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
Wow, that's so sad. I mean, you're talking the one about in Santana?
Yeah, the one in Santa Ana.
Oh man! Wow. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a local there, but I'm kind of close. But
The
yeah, I
one Alex
remember.
Valle run, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
the
that
hyperdrive one.
Oh,
when we had the ACR, the ACR was there.
Hmm.
Oh man, that kind of sucks. Yeah, I'm just hoping we can have big events overall again. Seeing these Frosty Fastings coming back has made me really hyped. I know they don't have 14 there, but I'm pretty sure that things go well next year. They'll have KOF 15. So I'm happy to see some events start popping up here and there. We taking the appropriate safety measures for COVID, etc. So yeah, I'm hoping things go back to normal soon.
So
I don't get the feeling that they will get back to normal 100% because
Yeah, it's this new
online
normal.
play, yeah, online playing has grown a lot, and it feels like comfortable playing tournaments, winning money without getting out of your house.
yeah, and don't forget
So
winning tournament in your underwear, right? Shirt off, and you're just winning, playing in your underwear. I see. I don't know, like if you
yeah,
follow, but like
Yeah.
Valorant, the
Yeah.
new FPS shooter.
Hmm.
One of
oh
the
yeah,
one of the players that won the tournament was saying, "Dude, it feels so good to win a tournament in your underwear. You don't have to go anywhere."
Yeah, but
That's so funny.
comparing the two kind of games, I think in fighting games, everybody, how we love to be there on finals. We love the big screen.
Yeah.
We love to shout. We love to share those moments of tension, between plays, between comebacks, between last character, last pixel, and just hanging out with each other. So even though maybe online play is a huge part of our life now, which is also why companies are working so hard to make rollback and netcodes work good, which I'm really happy. I think offline events, when they start happening, they will be huge again, because it was just another it's just another world, out there with the community. And that's something that there's no way to get those experiences otherwise than going to fighting game events. So online is big, but I think offline is bigger.
yeah,
One of the
yeah.
Smash tournaments that was in the U.S. What was I forgot what tournament? It was a Smash tournament, and registration filled up in like 20 minutes, and it hit over 1,000 entry.
That was
Wow.
so cool.
Yeah, it was in 20 minutes. I think I forgot what I had to look it up, but it was like in 20 minutes registration was full, and it
Mhm.
hit over 1,000 people. And now they're just trying to cut it down to limit amount of people,
Mhm.
to be like, hey, we don't want to have too many people, or else we're gonna get.
The
Yeah.
play is not big enough.
Yeah, well, not just that, it's like COVID too, and then they're requiring
Yeah.
players to be like, hey, if you're gonna go to this tournament, you gotta have your vaccine shot with a vaccine card, proof that you're negative on both, like, and stuff like that. And so it is. I hope maybe like sometime next year when everything becomes more normal. I'm pretty sure a lot of tournaments are gonna probably be record breaking for a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think people are eager to go out there, man. People want to go out there and play.
Yeah, the thing is that I feel like every tournament from now on, at least in the offline play, they are gonna be capped.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, for a while. Everything's gonna be capped for a while. Hopefully, things will start to get better. Like, I don't know, maybe by the mid next year, mid 2022, it's like, okay, maybe cases are finally down by, I don't know, a huge percentage, so they can go easy on safety measures a little more as time goes on. But yeah, I'm sure that if you guys want to play tournaments when KOF 15 comes out, like, you gotta look for them. Look for these online events, because I'm pretty sure this is gonna be huge. So look for them and register when you see them, because if they're gonna be capped also online, probably because even though we are not physically there, there's a lot of logistics behind an online tournament. So it makes sense to cap them to, I don't know, 100, 200, depending on what kind of tournament it is, because there's usually people also, the TOs, there's people running those tournaments, and we can't just have like 1,000 people register for a weekend tournament online if they are not ready for it. So look out for tournaments and register as soon as you can to guarantee your place, and don't get discouraged.
Another thing I want to
Mhm.
mention, a little bit off topic, for the people that are interested in KOF 15, please play KOF 15. You will have a good head start.
Yeah.
I talked to a little bit of Logia during Tokyo Game Show. The game's very similar to 14. So it's a really good idea right now to play KOF 14.
Yeah, just try it out. I mean, it's super
Actually-
cheap right now, I think.
Actually, a lot of people who stopped playing KOF 13, they noticed that the game is really similar and they are playing it again.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, they want to get prepared for 15. And what I saw, I was talking to Rosa a few minutes before, and I said, I don't really like it, but maybe we'll have newcomers that they oversimplified a lot of moves.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of move, I know I'm gonna go off topic again. Did you guys see that they changed Leona's command normals?
No.
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't see.
So what they did is, you know how her forward B is just forward B, right?
Uh-huh.
You can now you can also do back B as well.
Ooh.
So if you can now do
Yeah.
down B, down A, back B instead of forward B.
Well, I think that's pretty nice because I know Blue Mary has that with one of her normals in 14, right? I think it's with forward B. You can do forward B or back B.
Yeah.
It's the same one. So
Forward and back, Lumari.
I think that's a nice addition. The one I was surprised with it was Kyo's red kick, the command that changed, into DP and then back, DP motion and back, right?
They did?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. I don't know, Violent Kain, did you see it? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Actually, that was a good fix because sometimes you were like, you did a cross up, and then in the cross up went down B, and the red kit came out.
Nice.
So
So it's a fix.
that's
Okay,
a,
that's amazing.
a really good fix.
Oh, so that's
Ooh.
what it is. Oh, I see.
Yeah. Sometimes you would like wanna put pressure, and you want it down B, and red kit came up. So that I get the feeling that's why they did that.
All right. So I think it's time to move on to personal questions. If you guys don't want to answer it, you don't have to answer it.
All right.
Most of these are not too hard hitting. Some of these are going to be for Violent Kain, and some of these are for you, Rosa.
All right.
You could both of you guys can answer it too as well. So I'll start with Violent Kain.
Sure.
You have Violent Kain. I know you have your own podcast and stuff, and you also have watch party with anime like card captures and I want to say Dragon Ball. I want to say Dragon Ball. But I know you watch a lot of anime
No.
with a bunch of friends as well when you stream it. Can you tell me more about it?
It was Dead Note. Dead Note.
Dead Note? Death Note, oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I was streaming like every day KOF, and I had like a burnout. So actually, people in the TXC team told me that you should play other things and you should do other things. And Tanya, she's my girlfriend and also my manager. She told me that let's chat in one day. Let's do retro games one day. Actually, I love retro games, but I just kind of played it in my free time, not in the stream. And that's how it started. And now we're like talking about Sakura because it seems like a lot of people don't know about that anime. So we're talking about it, and then I just like turn on the stream and just chat about maybe my experiences or analyzing some matches and so on. It is just because I don't want to like get overwhelmed with KOF, because in 2019 that's the only thing I played, and sometimes I feel like I want to play another game, but if I do, I'm losing time to like get better. But now that I play daily, because at that time I just play like 1 or 2 days a week. Now that I play almost daily, it is like getting fresh air.
I see. Yeah, you gotta keep yourself and manage like not to be burnt out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rosa, I know you kind of work in the music industry. We talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think of the music of KOF 15, And with the very small sample size that we have, how do you think like KOF 15 soundtrack compared to other ones like 2K2UM, 98, 2000 and such?
Well, I'll be really honest with you. I haven't listened to as much music from the KOF 15 as others, but from what I can hear, when I play the trailers, when I watch the videos, etc., I think SNK sound team has been doing a really amazing job at composing the music and going with the situations that happen. I think it was Dinosaur's trailer is the one that I watched the most, and the music that they chose was going really well with the character, like really heavy punching and kind of mean, but overall the instrumentation and everything, it's sounding like really high quality. So yeah, I'm happy definitely with the sound design that KOF 15 is having. It's shaping up to be like a really fun game, just like other KOFs. They usually have really a lot of variation in the music, which is something that I really like over SNK games. So they definitely put like different genres like jazz or like a little techno or tropical, depending on the themes, the characters, the story. So yeah, I definitely think KOF 15 is going in the right direction, compared to all the other KOFs. I think they all had their specific good and bad things about music, but overall, every KOF has had, a lot of good soundtracks.
I actually like that they are making new music. Because
Oh, and the DigiStation sounds perfect.
now companies are like exploiting too much the nostalgia, I think, and I like that there are new songs in this game.
Oh yeah, especially the DJ station that's like what, over 300 soundtracks?
Yeah, I think it's really cool that you can pick like, okay, yeah, I like this song from KOF 98, this from 99, this from 13, this from 11. Yeah, let's play those while we play the game. Why not? That's so cool.
This is for both of you guys. So I know Japan, Lagia has been rising up to the top very fast. For someone so young, I think he's like 20 or something, very young. I don't, and Japan, like M Dash calls him like a prodigy. Is there anyone like that in Mexico? And if not, do you think with KOF 15, like, you guys will have like your own version of Lagia?
There's not. There are like a lot of people who play, but I think what the difference with Lagia is because, first of all, he's interested.
Yeah.
And second, he studies the game, because there are a lot of newcomers who are playing the game and they don't study, they don't check matchups, they don't go to training. If you give them advice, they don't do it, and there's those kind of problems. And I get the feeling that Lagia got so good because his mentor is M Dash.
In Mexico, I don't really know very much about the community about right now, but the last things online or offline that I have been part of with Mexico, I don't remember very young players being invested in KOF. The youngest player that I can remember is Hugo. He was from a place called Chetos Games. At the time that 13 came out, I think he was like, I don't know if 16 or something like that. I don't remember, but I think he's one of the younger players. Yeah, 20 something.
22, 23.
Yeah, so right now he should be like 24, 23, I don't remember. But he did pick up 14 just for a little bit. And when he did, he was wrecking people. So if this guy, Hugo, picks up 15, I think he's one of the guys from Mexico that could arise from the top. Like everybody will be like, who's this guy? Oh, he used to play 13, because he has a young mind and he has really good control over, combos and techniques, and he's a person that will get invested in finding option selects, mix-ups, combos. He has that mentality, that he's hungry to win. If he plays, I know he has that hunger to win. So I will say, if he picks up the game, he will be one of the players to look out for. And in terms of young people,
yeah, actually that's the problem with newcomers and also old players. They don't want to study the game. They don't want to learn about frame data. They just want to play. And Actually, they like I don't know how to say it, but they don't like people who study the games because they say that they
Yeah.
don't fight with feeling. And for example, we went with two really good Mexican players, Bart and Captain SNK, and
Into Neo Geo World Tour.
these guys are the top players in '98. When I talked to them, I really asked them about frame data. They didn't know about it. They didn't know that frame data existed. So it is a shocking thing, but it is really common here in Mexico.
Yeah, the frame data and studying part of the video games or the fighting games, it's something that the culture in Mexico hasn't grasped that much yet. I mean, there's still a lot of ignorance in terms of what's frame data, how does it work, and terms like the Oki or
Even
stuff
in
like
how
that,
to use
situations.
training mode.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people think training mode it's, oh yeah, go test the combos, you're out, that's it. But you actually have to think and figure stuff out, and that's where a lot of players fail to improve. It's like, oh, I'm just losing. Oh, this game sucks. Oh, it's infinite supers. Everything's down B, down B, down B. So it's like, no, man, you gotta go in there and you actually gotta figure out what is it that you're doing wrong. What is it that you're doing that you can do better? It all has everything has an answer to it. Like, why is this happening? It's happening because of this. So address that. So I think it's something that people have to learn to have that interest. Like players that have a passion about the game in these stages, in these years right now, like 2021, 2022, it's you gotta get into frame data, man. You gotta study those things if you actually wanna understand the game to the full extent and be able to use that to your advantage. It's the same thing, man. If you don't know how to use a hammer, you can put a nail in, but can you take it out? If you don't know how to use the end part of the hammer, then you won't be able to use it to your advantage, right? So it's like it's the same approach.
Yeah, I had a.
Yeah, actually, things that you could learn in 3 hours. With that mindset, it could take you years.
Yeah.
So that's a problem.
I want to say this. I had a conversation with Logia about M Dash. When he started it out, he was kind of like didn't know frame data, just played by feeling and stuff. But he came to, I don't know when he came to the realization. I forgot when, but Logia says that he will look up frame data if he needs to, if he wants to improve his game. Like he will he will look up frame data when he needs to, and that will step up his game. Also, but I can't wait to do the interview.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't wait to do the interview with M Dash, so we can talk about his past, because
Nice.
a lot of his stuff in his past is very interesting, and it mirrors like certain players like Logia. Like he's hungry to win. Like I'm not sure if people watch the exhibition. Like he didn't do anything fancy. He tried to win. Like he didn't do anything 15 Pacific. He timed out Dune just to get the W.
Yeah.
Like you could tell he's like motivated and hungry. And and from what I like talked to other people, they're like, yeah, this M Dash was like that, like very hungry and very motivated. So I can't wait till I get the interview with him, and we're gonna talk about his mentor and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wanna listen to it.
I have two things to say about this. One is that going back to the frame data stuff, I tell this from personal experience because I remember very well one of the first time I heard the term frame data was in KOF XIII. I think someone told me like, oh yeah, you can't punish. I don't remember what move specifically it was, but there was something that could only be punished like by 3 frame moves. So I was like, oh, so that's why Kyo's Orochinagi works when you do it right. That's why Maxima's double level 2 can punish this stuff, but other things can't. So like that's when I start to realize like, okay, the game has all this other information that I wasn't aware of. So it's like, okay, now I know that when Benimaru does the knee, how Huajai's level 1 super can punish if you block it, because of the frame data. Okay, this is negative 10 and the super is 8 frames of startup. Like, okay, you start using that to your advantage. And I'm really excited for 15 because when 14 came out, I was one of those guys that will go into training, do combos, and that's about it. That's all I knew. The experience of the mix-ups, of watching other people play, recreating situations that happen to me in tournaments or in casuals. I have that experience now, so training mode will be so much fun because I'm gonna start to find out all the things that I can, and I will suggest you guys do it too. Explore the game as much as you can, because that's what's gonna give you more insight into what you can and can't do, so your game will overall improve. And I forgot what was the other thing I wanted to say, so I'll just bring it up later if I remember.
Okay. But yeah, also the culture in Japan is very different. Like for example, in KOF 98 when it came out, there's also a magazine with frame data in the year 19.
Oh, cool. Well, that was so cool. Yeah, if people
Nice.
are introduced to that, yeah, definitely.
So I was thinking like they probably knew a lot of stuff.
And also,
Actually,
go, go, go.
actually, I would like to, like SNK, even if they like, I want them to do a DLC, right? But even if they charge that DLC, I would pay it. That you could see the frame data and hitbox.
Oh, kind of like
Oh, yeah.
how Tekken did it or something with the frame data thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, if they,
yeah. Because in Samurai Showdown, like searching for the frame data was really tough, and the hitboxes still doesn't exist.
if they add the
So
frame data and
that
stuff
would
like
be
that,
awesome.
yeah, it will be so much cool, and it will be so much good for everyone, because having the option available there for everyone to see, even people that don't know will be like, huh, what's this? And they will, start getting interested, like, okay, what are these numbers? What do they mean? So they go on, they ask, and everyone's like, hey, this is frame data, this is how it works. So people get better, people understand it. So yeah, it will be, I think, a huge benefit. It's not about, okay, we want frame data to just get better and be the best. No, it's like, this will help the overall community to get stronger. And also, I remember one of the other things I wanted to say is that now that you mentioned the hunger that Lagia has to win, how he timed out Dune and stuff like that, which was really cool to see. In my personal experience, I have a hard time kind of, because I wanna win too. Of course, everybody wants to win. Well, most people, but I also liked to follow my heart a lot with the characters that I like. So it's like I don't want to just look for, okay, I'll just look for the 3 or 4 characters that are overpowered and just use them to win. So I want to, like, no, I want to try and pick characters that stay true to what I like to play and just try to win with that. So there's different, that's where we can see different mindsets of different players. So
Actually, there's kind of a problem here with the Latin American community, because it is just not Mexico. That people tend to hate the players who play the top tiers, and this has been going on since forever. And
yeah, it's something that has to
I
stop.
actually everybody was like that. I was like that a long time ago, and
I was like that,
actually
yeah.
didn't want like to play top tiers, because I don't know, I felt dirty, because that's what I learned from the street, you know. And when I started going out to international tournaments, to Evo, to Combo Breaker, etc., and learning that the Asian players mostly they don't care about that. They just choose the best tools, and they trying to win with them. And a lot of people, and myself included, couldn't understand that. We were saying like, man, he's so cheap, man, he doesn't have honor, and so. But
Yeah.
soon I came to realize that you can choose whatever character you want,
Yeah.
and you gotta understand that when you go to tournaments, you go for like you wanna win. You go for winning.
Mhm.
So you're not gonna win if you play with heart, man. You gotta, people gotta learn about that.
Yeah, it's like you pick top tiers, go for it. You pick low tiers, you know the risks, but that's your choice. So respect
Yeah.
if people are playing top tiers, man. Just respect it.
And actually, when I do streams, sometimes people like trust talk to me a lot, because I now play Shunei. I now play, for example, Yori, and those are considered top tiers. And they say you don't win if you don't pick those characters. And I say, because this happens in Mexico, that they don't complain about ET, they don't complain about M Dash, they don't complain about Lagia, they don't complain about Shanghai, because they play top tier characters. They those players are respected here. But if you play those characters, you're trash.
Yeah. Also, they tend
And
to shame the zoning style. Sometimes they, oh, that's so gay or whatever, stupid word. I mean, no offense to the LGBT community, but some there's still some of that in Mexico that they like, oh, that's not a manly way of playing, like going back and throwing fireballs, and that has to stop.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely the double standards.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah,
oh, sorry. Go
people
on.
just gotta learn that when you are in a tournament, you gotta choose the best tools. You don't wanna cut down a tree with just an axe.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of playing to win, is that the reason why you learned the EX Iori Infinite? Did it like that mindset made you think like, oh, I could pick EX Iori, and if I just learned this Infinite, I could kill anyone in one hit, no matter what.
Actually, it was not because of it.
All right.
Actually, at that time, I still thought like that. The thing, what happened, it is like really funny story. When EX Iori was about to come out, I don't know who was it, but there was a Japanese video that showcased that Infinite. I think it was with a tool assisted Infinite.
I think I know what.
So like,
Hold on, before you go
yeah,
on.
yeah.
I think I know the video channel. Keep talking. I'll actually find it. I'll actually find it right now.
I remember they chose the blue color of Yori, and like 1 month to 2 months after, I saw Rain doing it, like 3 rekas or 4 rekas, and then it was like, man, this is really possible by hand. I thought it was just possible with tool assisted. Only a computer could do it. So when I saw that, I wasn't like really trying to do it. I When the game came out in console, I just practiced a lot of combos, because when the arcade was on, there were like 2, 3, 13 arcades in the whole city, and when actually you just have like one chance, right? You put your coin in the machine and you have one chance, and a lot of people tended like to drop combos. So what I did is go into training and practice combos. So I was practicing Yuri's combos, and I saw like you could fit one more Reka in there. So I practice, and then I finally could do that one more Reka. But then I thought I have to do it consistently, because sometimes I drop it. If I drop it, I lose. So then I got like really good at it, and I saw, and I thought I can't fit one more Reka into that. Then that's how the Infinite started. You know, it wasn't like I wanna do the Infinite right away. I was just practicing HD combos.
I get, that's pretty funny. You're just telling yourself, okay, just one more, just one more.
Yeah.
Get that one more, one more. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw that. There's a lot of space when he falls down. I can fit another one. And when I got like 5 or 6 repetitions, I was like, nah, I feel like I can do the Infinite. Then I started practicing the Infinite.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
And actually, what we were talking about, I got flamed a lot because of that. But I kept doing it because it was hard, and I was at that time. There were like 4 or 5 people that could do it, but I was the only one who could do it both sides. So I was really proud of myself. because it was really hard for me. I used to practice like 4 or 6 hours a day. Just that.
Jeez, I'm surprised like your wrist hasn't gone out, or you haven't like came up to the tournament and like cast or something.
Actually, that's why I changed to Sanwa levers, because I used to play in the Industrias Lorenzo. Do you know that lever?
Yeah, they have.
Is that the baseball bat?
They have. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the common lever here in Mexico.
The
So
Mexican-
I
the
had
Mexican version.
the one that the XRK has,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to practice the infinite with that. So one day my skin peeled off from the knuckles on the pinky finger. My skin peeled off, and I said, man, I need a Sanwa lever for this, because they don't have the screws in the top of the case.
Yeah.
So that's why I switched because I didn't like Sanwa buttons because they were like so soft. A lot of people didn't like them because of that, because they're like, you just put your finger in it and it switches on. So people didn't like that, and I didn't like that at that time. But when I switched on, I really liked it and never came back.
Ah, I see. Got a few
Sanwa for life.
Yeah, Sanwa for life. I got a few more questions and then we'll be done.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Is that also why you're switching to Hitbox recently? Tell me about your transitioning from that.
There are many reasons for that. At first, I saw the Hitbox guys did like a lot of ads, and that you could do some things faster. But I really failed with that, because I thought I can do things faster in KOF, but that isn't true. I came to realize when I had the Hitbox, I came to realize that that is not true. That is only true in Street Fighter. But that's one of the reasons. There's another reason. I feel like you could sometimes, well, for example, the Iori cross-up, that if you have like three fingers in your buttons, you just like switch the guard to the other side really quicker than on the lever. So that's what I thought. Also, I checked. I made a simulation with just switches on with the Sanwa PCB, and I saw that you could do, well, theoretically, the your infinite easier. I felt that way at that time, and then I said, man, I want to try this, but again, that is not true.
I see.
Well, for now, because I practice a lot with the lever, it feels like it is harder. Maybe with time, I will manage to do it. But there's also another thing. A lot of players, I don't know if in the US do it, but in Mexico there are a lot of players who play with empty buttons and who see with the peripheral view your hand. And if you move forward, if you go down, if you jump, they can see it before the character jumps. If you try to run, they can see it before the character runs. You know?
Yeah.
And that was one of the reasons. If I play with buttons, they won't see what I'm doing, because actually, I don't know if ET told you about this like story, but there's a player here in Mexico that is called Rosa Violent Kain, and this player abuses of that. Abuses of that technique. It is legal. It is legal.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but like ET got really pissed at Evo, and he turned his back to the other side and played like that.
Oh man, that's pretty funny.
I've heard, I think it was, I don't know if it was Tokito or another Street Fighter players, but there has been also mentions in the Street Fighter community that people react to the movement like Violent Kain says, to the hand movement on the opponent when the setups are not head to head, which I think it's a really nice thought of Violent Kain, because in Mexico people are not really used to doing head to heads on tournaments and stuff like that. Hopefully it will be done even more in the future, but as long as pools and stuff like that, when you have to play against good players that are using, they're used to watch the movement of the hands, Hitbox definitely helps. Same way as a controller, they cannot see where your hand is going because everything is buttons. So yeah, cool stuff.
Actually, there are a lot of people who use, as I said, the empty buttons, and if you put headphones on, it is like you nerf the player 80%, because that doesn't affect you anymore, and that's the same with the lever.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my main reasons why I switch. But to be honest, it hasn't been easy, because at first, like, my hand and wrist hurt a lot if I played for an hour, and it was like that for months. Now, since the last month, the pain stopped, so I can move now faster without feeling pain, because sometimes I wanted to move faster, but the pain stopped me. It was like maybe like a scared dog when his face pain, he doesn't want to do things. I kind of feel like that for a long time.
All right. Rosa, I know you play a lot of music games, like DDR. Do you compete in tournaments for them or no?
I actually, the one that I played the most is called Pump It Up. I have played DDR, but I moved to Pump It Up as soon as I fell in love with the game. When I saw it, it just has like the music and stuff like that was just more appealing to me. Unfortunately, I wasn't never a player that went to tournaments and stuff, because I think in Mexico, when I was at that time, also the community was kind of toxic a little bit. Instead of people training together and having that unity feeling, it was like, oh, I'm better than you, oh, this guy's better than you, oh, so like it was a little bit toxic. So I didn't really have that mentality set, like, yeah, everybody's cheering and supporting you to train and compete. It just wasn't like that. So I guess that's why I haven't done it a lot. And as of right now, since it requires a lot of physical condition, and in the same way that you will train for a fighting game, you will need to train for a rhythm game. So you have to like be on your top mentality, top shape to play the game. So it's really hard for me to do both things. I have gone to a couple of local tournaments and I actually won one, but it was like a really, really, really small one right here in San Diego. For example, if I were to go to a tournament of Pump It Up in Mexico City, man, I think I will make maybe, I don't know, top 16, top 8 at most, because there's lots of good players playing those games right now. But yeah, it's definitely been a really fun part of my life, also the rhythm games.
I need to show you like a DDR tournament documentary. It was before the pandemic. They actually had like
Oh,
a major...
cool.
I have to show it to you. I have to find it soon. But
oh yeah, send it to me. I would love to watch it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm also planning. I'm hoping that in the future, when I have a little bit more money, when everything's like more settled after the pandemic, I'm hoping that I can do some streams, because I actually bought a dancing cab, a Pump It Up cab during this pandemic, because the arcades were closed. We found a cheap one, like $2,000, in really good shape, an old one. So I've had it in my home for a couple of years now. But yeah, I'm hoping that maybe in the future I can do some streams of Pump It Up too as well.
I have another question for you, Rosa. I know that you play a lot of unusual characters, and you usually, like in 14, you play like King of Dinosaur, Kenzo, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we have gone through the game's like the lifespan. Like, we went to like a bunch of patches. Which character did you felt that was like unfairly nerfed? And what would you think like the reason behind it?
Unfairly nerfed.
Like a character who didn't deserve to have these changes.
Piensa bien lo que vas a decir, perro.
It's telling me to think very well what I'm about to say.
Did I just unlock like a huge
no, I mean, yeah, it's probably because we have like different opinions on this, but I would say I was really bummed when Versus Command Grab
I fucking knew it.
was nerfed from grabbing, from the proximity that was too close till I think it has to be like almost half screen. I don't remember. I was kind of bummed about that,
It was half screen.
but I come to understand that it was really advantageous. So even though at first that was one of the things that I thought was really unfair, I came to accept it that it was a fair thing to do with him, with Burst. As far as other nerfs, I can't really think of nerfs, but I can't think about Maxima not getting any buffs. Like Maxima and Ramon didn't get buffs at all that helped them. Like they stayed almost the same. Oh yeah, I got it. Another unfair nerf I will say was King of Dinosaur's forward A, the overhead had armor at the beginning, and I think that was pretty neat because even though it's really slow, it was something that you could use. Like I don't know, maybe you are anticipating a guard council CD, so you'll do down C into forward A, and oh no, actually that wouldn't work because that would be in the forward A being cancelled from down C. It had to be the raw overhead. So it was something that was a really cool thing that he had that I think it was unjustly nerfed. Like I don't think it would have put him at a really big advantage or anything like that because the starter was low. But more than complaining about nerfs or unfair nerfs, I think I will complain more about characters not having enough buffs. Especially, I will say Ralph, Ramon, and Maxima. Those are the three characters that come to mind that could have a couple little buffs just to make them more viable on 14.
I see.
I get the feeling that they don't put enough attention to those characters, and also Terry got really unfair nerfs. He wasn't good and he got nerfed.
Oh yeah, he got some nerfs. I think the best approach is to look more for buffs than look for nerfs.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, I really hope with 15 they really learn from this. Like they just buff characters. If Iori's already powerful, just leave him alone. Just buff the rest of the cast.
Hey, yeah.
Actually,
Like,
they nerfed the stun D already.
Yeah, for a lot of
He's
characters.
still frames now.
Yeah, and did you see the hitbox for like Shunei when he far D'd?
No, I didn't. Is smaller?
The hitbox it looks smaller.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little smaller. I think that was also a fair nerf. Yeah, unless
Actually,
like when something's like really broken.
I saw that I don't know how the movie's called, but I am gonna say his bare knuckle, Shunei's bare knuckle. EX bare knuckle doesn't like wall bounce anymore, so that's a nerf. That's a really huge nerf.
Yeah, but they changed his EX fireballs to standing crumple. If I don't know if you saw that already.
No, I didn't.
So Shunei's EX
okay.
fireball now causes a forced crumple.
Wow, interesting.
Interesting
So you
changes.
could do the EX fireball, then EXDP.
Probably, and then
I'll send you the video after. But they one of the combos that one of the other things that they changed too was the Shunei's claw doesn't juggle anymore. It just causes sliding knockdown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah. So here's a couple more questions, but it's for both of you two. Let's just say
Okay.
you guys are the co-captain for Team Mexico in a big KOF tournament, 10v10 international, against Team America and Team Japan. Who would you guys have for Team Mexico, like for a 10v10?
I would have for sure Güero. I
yeah,
will have him.
that's one. Huevo.
Huevo.
That's two.
Huevo. He's also known for his Japanese name Tamago.
Tamago.
Yes. I mean, ever.
So, Huevo. I will say Robert. I will say
Sombra.
Robert. Sombra.
Uh-huh.
Sombra. Nice.
Canibalito.
Yeah, that's 5.
That's fine.
Koopa.
Yeah, when Koopa
How many we got?
10.
10, but there's already what? You,
Oh,
Arosa, Huevo, Güero, Koopa, and Canabalito, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Huevo,
six.
Güero, Koopa, Canibalito, and I will say Robert. Because
Robert?
from the
Robert.
from the recent players as of this now, as of right now, as
Yeah,
of
as of
14,
right now.
I will say also Robert. So that's 5,
Layek, Paco.
7. Yeah, and it's supposed to be us two, so that will be 9. We will have one more. I agree with Pac-1 Lajek too.
Mm.
So we'll have one room for one more.
Mm.
I will probably say comes to mind Luis Cha.
Luis Cha, of course,
Luis
of
Cha.
course, Luis Cha.
So yeah, if because only because Lajek and Paco have not played 14 right now, and I don't really know the level that they will have because Paco did and Lajek did at the beginning. If it were not them,
Actually, Paco eliminated them Dash in one Evo.
yeah, he was.
He beat them both. He beat them in tournament, and in case nobody didn't know, he also beat him in a money match in a money match after Evo. Like, I think in I forgot whose hotel room was it, but I think it was Vizio.
BC made a whole KOF suite.
Yeah.
And we were like, all KOF fans were there.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping that Paco and Lajek come back to play KOF 15 because those are two really good and talented players with unique styles and unique character choices. So it adds a lot of variety to the whole KOF Mexican community.
Actually, a lot of people, when he was playing, a lot of people thought that Yuan was bad, and he showed everybody that she was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dude, her CD was so good. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that nerf was a good one. When she used to be able to go over lows so easily, because right now you can go sometimes or trade, but it's not overly overpowered. So I think that was a fair nerf.
That's good 10v10. Dude, I really hope like there's one tournament that everyone came together. Well, possibly Evo when they get their stuff together, like when we have anything land. I really hope everyone in the world, like 10 from Japan, like Lagia named his 10, and then ET haven't named his 10 because it was difficult for him. But I really want to see like a clash of like titans for like, because everyone always talk about how like, oh yeah, this guy's super good and that guy's super good from this region, and like, dude, why can't we just see them all in one location, just play a 10v10, that'd be sick. Because every time, like from what I've seen, when we do a 10v10 at Evo, it's usually like some countries like Mexico, I know that like some of the 10v10s you guys are missing like maybe 2 or 3 of your other strongest players. And then you have like Korea and Japan also missing like maybe 1 or 2 of their strongest players, and it's always like,
yeah,
it's kind of like not a very fair like way to determine like I'm not saying like one region is better than the other. I'm just saying like I want to see like the dream match that everyone wants to see,
Yeah, it would be
Actually,
like really cool. Like
now that you mentioned the KO suite in 2017, there was a lot of drama because of that. Because in that suite they made a team match. I don't remember if it was FT10 or FT15. Mexico versus Japan, and a lot of people on Facebook were like speaking who would they think should play. And in the end, what we did is let's make a round robin, and the best players are gonna play.
I see. Well, it's not even like the round robin. It's like if you can even get past like the visa issue, because there's
The first thing was who's gonna go. Then we're gonna do a round robin.
Yeah, I mean, it will be so cool to have an event that will be like, hey, we'll have team players from Japan, team players from China, team players from Colombia, team players from Chile, team players from here, this or that, and like it's a 10 versus 10 team tournament. It will be so cool to have something of that magnitude. We don't know if that's gonna be possible, but it would definitely be something unique and amazing to see. Hopefully, at least a 5 versus 5 at some point.
I'll do a 5v5 at some point. All right, since I know both of you guys are qualified for the SNK World Tour, God, that tournament's supposed to happen last year, but COVID.
Yeah.
Was there any?
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. Was there anyone that like you look forward to playing? Like you look forward to like matching up and stuff?
I look forward to play Lagia and M-Dash. Actually, in the last tournament, in the Harper Drive, I was about to eliminate M-Dash, but I don't know what he did. Maybe he drank soda or something, but when I sent him to losers and we went into the grand finals, he played very differently. He felt like a monster man. So that was a like a really good experience for me, and I want to play him again.
Yeah, dude, he definitely knows how to kick in when he needs it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I will
he
say,
has like a really good mindset for comebacks.
for me, I will say I'm really looking forward to play. Of course, I'm looking forward to play anyone because I haven't been able to travel as much for say as Violent Kain. So any experience that I can get and against good players, I really appreciate it. But I'm really looking forward to meet with M Dash again because when I played with him on the Neo Geo World Tour, I feel I've gained a lot of experience and a better mentality in terms of my gameplay and my game plan. I remember very well that I thought, he's just gonna destroy me. But actually, the first game, the first round with Alice, I was able to kill his hind. Not too hard. So I thought, like, hey, I'm not that bad. This is not really impossible. Like the skill gap is not that far away from us. And then Violent Kain happened to beat Chao Hai. So it's like, yeah, man, we're close. We're getting close to being at that level of beating, going head to head with Asian players and players from all over the world. So I will be hoping to face M Dash again at some point in the tournament. That will be like the best thing for me to happen.
You know what I did mentally to accomplish that is that I stopped looking at the Mexican players as foes, just like practice partners. Like I just switched my view from Mexico to the Asian players.
Did you find like I'm assuming you found like ways to get better, or you probably like have a sense of enlightenment, like, oh, this is probably what I was missing this whole time.
Yeah, because you tend to like, I want to beat this guy from your local scene, and when you go to an international tournament, you're not probably gonna play him. You're gonna play other player. So when you realize that is that you should focus to those players. One common mistake from players who go to their first international tournaments is that they don't prepare for the player who they are gonna play.
Yeah, it definitely helps to study matchup. There's YouTube out there. There's matchups. There's tournaments. If you know some certain players gonna be there, like watch his game style. There's always each of us have different things that we do that are unique to our play style. So try to use that to your advantage. And of course, everything will turn out depending on who adapts better at the moment of the match. But yeah, definitely study the players that you are looking out for.
Yeah, that's and I actually changed my mindset overall. I just when I play tournaments and I meet Mexican players, even the US players, they are like, hello buddy, we are just I cannot say like it is just like casuals, but kinda like it. But it is like I'm gonna take this tournament for as training for when the time comes and I play Asian players again.
Yeah. Have you ever talked to Redo? He's pretty like very carefree would be the word when it comes to it. Comes to play. He has the same mentality, like I'm gonna be carefree and stuff. 3 more questions, and we'll be done. Just don't want to keep you guys up that late. Because I know you.
I'm having fun.
Yeah. Let's see. I have something to ask, but I forgot. I think I'll remember if I ask. All right. If you could play anyone in the world in a long set, who would it be, and what KOF game? Oh wait, hold up. Before you answer it, I actually got a quick story to tell you.
Okay.
For Violent Kain. So during Hyperdrive, I had to chaperone M Dash and Logia. M Dash and Logia actually asked for a video of you, and they were very like it's kind of like a crazy mindset of how they trained. They like ask like, oh, do you know Violent Kain? And I'll be like, I know him, and it'll be like, if I look up on YouTube right now, is there a video of him? And like, how recent is the video? I was like, what? Like, and they would actually check, like they would actually look you up and be like, okay, this is how he played. How old is this video? And like, what is his? Does he have a YouTube channel? Does he stream his trading? I was like, what? I don't know these questions. Like, what? And it's crazy.
Actually, that day he subscribed to my YouTube channel.
Yeah. But it's crazy how like the players, like if they want to win, this is what they got to do. Like when I was driving them to go hang out, like go around tourists, instead of them looking up the road, they're spending their time in the car just talking about the game, like in Japanese. Like M Dash doesn't speak English, but Lagia does. So he tells me that he's part of the conversation. He's like, oh, and I don't remember much, like, because it's been so long. But he tells you that, oh, like I know if I can get Violent Kain in this situation, I know he's going to react like this every single time. Even if he tries to change it up, I know he's gonna go back and do this again later. And it's crazy how much they theory craft like against their opponent and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I learned from this online playing. I actually didn't think like that before. And when we started the online playing, like you don't have the player on your side anymore, so you gotta make other tactics. So to be honest, I have learned a lot from them.
But the question I was gonna ask, like just to get back on it, is
sure.
What would be your top 16 characters? I would never. I think for KOF 14, asking for a top 8 is too short. There's 50 something characters, and I think there is enough variety to have. There's probably 20 something characters that can compete at a major level.
Okay, that's pretty easy, man, because I play this game almost daily.
So what would be your top 16? Rosa, you can answer this too, since you have a knowledge on this as well.
My top 16 would be for sure Shunei, then Blue Mary, Pine, Alice, Hydern. How many I have got?
Say it again. Yeah.
Shunei, Blue Mary, Hein, Alice, Hydern, Iori,
Benny. Would Benny be up there?
Yeah, I think so. In top 16, he's there.
That's
Nayudo.
6.
I feel like Kyo is in the top 16 too.
I think we got 8 so far.
8.
I would say
Oswald.
Oswald. Okay.
Oswald.
You guys already said Yuri, right?
Iori.
Iori.
Not Yuri. Oh, Benny Maru we said, right? So I think we have 10.
Yeah. So I have
Benny Maru.
I have Hein, Shunei, Hydern, Alice, Mary, Iori, Benny, Yuri, Oswald.
No, not Yuri. I don't think Yuri makes top 16.
Really? All right.
Really?
I will say
Mai.
Okay.
You think so?
I really feel like, well, Gangil is in my list, but I'm gonna say why, because I feel like this character is like not optimized. I actually have seen a lot of SR matches, and he's got a monster Gangil. His instant overhead is really a cheap tool for win. So that's why he's in my top 16.
Lazy Freddy thinks he's like very underrated, like a secret hidden top 16 character in that regard.
Yeah, just people don't use
Also-
it as much.
Did I say Leona already?
No.
No.
Okay, Leona. Geese.
Geese, all right.
Geese is really good too.
You have 12.
I don't know, maybe Kim, because of the system. He can abuse of the system when you put him into anchor.
Yeah. If you can't name a lot of characters, it's okay, because there's a general consensus. I just want to get like a general idea of like what would be a top 16 from a lot of top players. If you could do 12, that's good.
Okay. Just let me write it down because I wanna get sure.
Yeah, I think you just need one more because you have Mari, Shun, Hein, Alice, Haydn, Iori, Naj, Kyo. That's 8. Oswald, Benny, Mike, and Gil, Leona, Gis, Kim. That's 15.
And
How was Arena?
Leona. Oh, Sarina. Sarina.
I think that's pretty fair.
Fine.
Man, Zarina's
My
also a lot. Zarina's
Alice.
also kind of a hidden character too as well. And you said not,
If-
right?
Yeah. If I think I mostly agree with Violent Kain. You know, it's kind of tough with so many characters. If I had to make any changes in this list, I will maybe just could add Kukri and Mature because I know those also are characters that have a really good tool set.
But
Maybe
you know
we-
what? I feel like Kukri is good in online play, but not in offline play.
The thing is that
He's
we
good
have never fought. Like for example, the best cookie we know, the best cookie is Dechimo, at least in the US,
Yeah.
and I think in the world over. I think nobody's playing cookie like Dechimo does. And
I
the
think
sad-
the best Kukri in the world is Mok.
So you have seen okay.
The Japanese
So-
guy, right? It's like MOKY or something.
Yeah, is it
The-
Japanese? I thought he was from Taiwan.
Or
The-
is he? I need to double check.
The thing is that we haven't been able to play any kukri offline at the current level that we know the character is possible to play. So online, yeah, like Violent can say, it's online Kukri's a beast because you know all the clones, the mix-ups and everything. It's just very hard to get away from that because of the reaction with the delay. But offline, we'll have to see, you know, how fast you can react, how good all his moves are. But yeah, I think overall, if we are just talking about top 16, I think the list that Violent Kate came up with, I will say overall that's a fair list. You know, all the other characters have pros and cons, but I think they fall a little bit on the threshold of the good tools that they have. So all these characters that we mentioned, I think, are the top 16 of the current patch of KOF 14 at this moment.
Actually, I got the full list, so I can say it fast.
Okay, let's go.
It's Kyo, Benny, Iori, Kim, Gang, Shun, Leona, Sarina, Giz, Hein, Mai, Alice, Haydn, Oswald, Mary, and Nayudo.
Yeah, agreed.
That's a pretty good cast of characters.
Actually, at first, a lot of people complain about this patch because Shunei got really OP, but I get the feeling that he is the most balanced one. As time went on, a lot of people started playing different characters, and they can beat Shunei. Almost everybody can beat Shunei.
Really?
Yeah.
What was it? Lazy Freddy kept telling me, dude, this character's so mad, stupid, and busted.
Well, he's his character now. He has like a really good priority with the Jumping City.
Yeah.
But the thing is that almost everybody knows the match already.
That's for sure.
So that's why it's like Shunei is not as powerful as before.
Okay. All right. This is the last question. If you could play, did you guys already have this question? Because we've been at this for so long.
No, you came up with it, but I think we didn't answer it. If we could play someone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you could play anyone in the world, like in a long set, who would you play, and what KOF game would it be?
I would play M- in 14, and also I would like to play ET in 02 UM.
All right.
For me, I think I've never had the opportunity to play like a long set with Shanghai on 14, so that's definitely one of the players I will be looking forward to play. And I would choose KOF 14 because it's the game that we're playing right now. It's the where I'm most active. I haven't been as active in other KOFs as of right now, so that will be for me.
Okay. All right. I think we're done. Where can guys find you on the internet if they want to check out your content?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch and YouTube, all /Violent Kain.
Yeah, for me right now it's just Twitter, so you can follow me at El Rosa and then underscore, so it's ELROSA and then underscore. I don't have a YouTube channel, or well, I do have a Twitch, but I haven't been using it. I'm just being like so busy. But hopefully, I can do some transmissions at least from the PS4, PS5 in the future for KOF 14 and for KOF 15, and that's about it for right now.
And actually, I plan to grind a lot when 15 comes out. So if anyone wants to play with us, with the whole crew, with the Rosa, PCO, and then everybody, Mexican player, you're welcome to join us.
Right on. Yeah, we definitely need more players.
Yeah. Also, I would just like to put it out there. I have another Twitter account which is for my music, which is at El Rosa Music in Twitter. I haven't been very active right now, but I'm planning to get some content out there soon. I'm working on my music, on my projects, and everything is very. I have a lot of influence from video game music, especially retro one. All the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sonic, Mario, Donkey Kong, Final Fantasy, Mega Man. So I have a lot of that influence in me, together with a lot of different music from different parts of the world. So I hope that if you like how it sounds, what I'm telling you, go check out my channel and follow me, so then you can be aware when my content is out.
All right, then we're done. Thanks for showing up.
All right.
Thanks for
Cool.
showing up, you guys.
Yeah. No, thank you for inviting us. It was really, really fun. A really fun discussion.
Yeah.
And please let me know when the ET podcast is out, because I want to listen to it.
Yeah.
I'm really hyped to see what he's got to say about all the community and the KOF.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Lightning. Special thanks to everyone in the credits, from the guests to the people behind the scenes. Without them, I wouldn't start doing this. Please follow them on their social media links down below. Thanks. See you later.